Yesterday we built a small little ramp. We might show you. We gotta go back and do the railing, so might show you part of that. Today we're fixing a floor joist. It's bouncy. There's a knot and a crack, and it's at the maximum span. So we're gonna sister one up to give the strength back to the floor joist, and then I'm going to put a little brace underneath it. We are going to glue and mechanical fasten it together, and it's a really small, very small, very small crawl space. So I got to take a vent out to get the support beam in there, the sister piece in there. So kind of interesting, but that's what we're doing today. We'll be a floor rat. Alright, this is current situation. Tammy's feeding me material into that vent. And here's where I'm working. But that cracked joist is weak. We gotta sister that up. Glue a piece on there so it doesn't move anymore. And I'm going to put an extra block, basically, from here over past that one, 4x4, and give it some extra support. It's still structural, but it's just weak because of that crack. So we're going to glue up another board and face nail it to this and then block it. There's not a lot of room, but we 100% glued this, sistered this to this other beam, and then where these blocks are, I ran a secondary support just for weight. So the cracked beam is fixed and we have a secondary support. Clean this up and get my tools out of here. Go talk to the homeowner on the phone, I think. So this is a book I'm reading right now, Roaming and Resting with the Roman Man of the Smoky Mountains, Wiley Oakley. It's written by Wiley. But he tells a bunch of stories, and it's really fun to watch or listen to because it's all stuff I'm familiar with, Gatlinburg and chimneys and all kinds of stuff. I'm on this chapter, Two Lost Men, and look, once two men from the state of Ohio climbed the chimney tops up on Sugarland Mountain. Sounds like me and my brothers. But I recommend this book if you can find it. Roaming and Resting with the Roman Man of the Smoky Mountains. And these are his drawings. That sure is pretty. Got an off day, kind of doctor day today, so. And Mom's birthday. Happy 79th birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Well, we invited Mom to go out to eat for supper for her birthday, but she's going out for lunch. So we're going to make her, she wanted a spice cake with caramel ganache icing. Some sort of caramel icing. So she sent me a recipe that her mom made her. So I'm going to try to make it. And we're going to go over there for cake tonight. Doctor visits are all taken care of. Now I just got to figure out my work for tomorrow. I got a few things I still got to take care of. So we'll work on that next. Caramel icing, 6 tablespoons brown sugar to 6 tablespoons condensed milk, 1 teaspoon vanilla, a lump of butter the size of a walnut. Put brown sugar and milk together, stir good together. This will put on the stove, and after it starts to boil 2 minutes. Keep stirring so you'll need not to stick. Add butter and milk and vanilla. Timmy's got the spice cakes all mixed up, ready to go in the oven. And the caramel ganache icing takes brown sugar, a lump of butter the size of a walnut, some condensed milk, and powdered sugar, a little bit of milk, and vanilla. Now before we put them in, I'm going to chop up some of these pecans. Fry them up in a little bit of butter and lightly salt them with some sea salt. I'm going to put them in the cake batter. Okay, so there's some pecans, some caramel, some salt, butter, all down in there. We're going to bake these up, stack them on top, caramel icing them in between and on top. Hopefully it'll pour on. That's the plan. So let's get these baked up. Alright, so we got to make the icing right after the cake's cool. We got to let them cool because we're going to heat it up, bring it to a boil like it said, and then while it's still warm we want to pour it on the cakes. The cake's got to be cooled first, so make sure you bake them first before you make this icing. And now I'm going to show you how to make the icing. And we'll get them poured on the cakes, and I'll show you those all cooled off. I wish you could smell these. Okay, so this is actually 9 tablespoons of brown sugar and 9 tablespoons of condensed milk. And you just want to make sure and mix that real good together. You don't want any lumps in there like that right there. You want to get that all broke apart. And then you're going to put this on medium heat, bring it to a boil. I wish you could smell these. Okay, so this is actually 9 tablespoons of brown sugar and 9 tablespoons of condensed milk. And you just want to make sure and mix that real good together. You don't want any lumps in there like that right there. You want to get that all broke apart. And then you're going to put this on medium heat, bring it to a boil. Cakes are cold, you can start your icing. Let's put one on first. We're going to pour a soft layer onto this. Put this one on top, and then pour it all down the edges. Alright, let's make our icing. Just a medium-high heat will work. You want to bring this to a boil. And then we're going to boil it for 2 minutes. Stirring it so it doesn't burn. Now all we're heating up is the brown sugar and the condensed milk. There's nothing else in this. We're going to add the butter and some powdered sugar and some milk, maybe regular milk, after this boils for 2 minutes. It'll still be warm, the butter will melt, then we'll put a little bit of powdered sugar and milk in there, and it will make like a crusty glaze to this caramel ganache.
Did you do the vanilla?
No, you do that at the end. Okay, so when it starts boiling, this is when the magic happens. You want to do this for 2 minutes. Then we're going to remove it from the heat. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla if you're doing a single batch. I'm doing 1.5, so I'm doing a teaspoon and a half. And then a walnut sized piece of butter, which I'm doing this much because I did 1.5. Alright, I gotta get back to stirring. I'll show you when this is done. Alright, so here it is, 2 minutes. I'm gonna keep stirring because it's still hot. And we'll move
Vanilla.
There's
You
the
gotta do
vanilla.
half of them.
Ooh, that smells good. Put that butter in there while it's still warm.
So before you remove, so you could put it back on. And there's the half.
Now it says to add just enough powdered sugar that you think this will be spreadable. So basically you want to melt this into this hot caramel. And then we're going to add just enough powdered sugar to make this spreadable on a cake and not, you know, caramel. And then if we make it too thick, we're going to add just a little bit of whole milk or milk. 2%, 1%, whatever. Okay? So I'll get it to the consistency that I think I need. And then we'll bring you back for the... I'm going to actually pour it, not really spread it. So I want it a little thinner. And just sift the powdered sugar on this. Don't pour it in. Sift it and stir. It's good to have a helper. Okay, so here's what we ended up with. Took about a cup of powdered sugar. And we'll get this all off the edges and get this stirred in real good. Then we're going to spread it on here. You could go a little thicker, a little thinner, and it's all going to be relative to the butter you use and what you want to achieve. Now when this cools, it will harden up some, so keep that in mind. On this first one, just enough to coat the top. Get a layer between the cakes. Spreadable but not too thin, not too thick. Perfect. Get it out here towards the edge. Okay, now we're going to put this on top and then we'll pour the rest of this on.
It smells so good.
See if I can get enough to go down the sides. I probably should have doubled it. Only 1.5 to 2 cakes though. Oh, it's gonna get it. Oh.
It's getting cool.
Yeah, this
So
starting
it's
to
not
heat up.
wanting to
I'm
work
gonna
as-
heat this back up and finish this, and I'll show you when it's done. Alright, so hard shell. And looks pretty good, right? Except we missed this whole spot right here. We took some of the scrapings and put it on there, but we're going to drizzle a little bit of the butter caramel we have and just drizzle the top. So there you go. It's what my grandma used to make my mom for her birthday. Spice cake, caramel ganache icing.